everyone, this is Coach Dave, and I just wanted to shoot you this quick video. It's actually been something that I've had on, I don't know if you want to call it my to-do list, or something that I had thought about wanting to do back in January, you know, with the whole New Year's resolutions and all the New Year's crave. I wanted to start shooting more live video, and I've procrastinated. And I have excuses, and nothing else I can say about it. But I've been working with a coach, and yes, I work with a coach as well. And he said, man, if you want to have to create impact, then you got to get out there and put yourself out there. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to start with basically kind of my why behind what I'm doing, and just kind of let you know a little bit about me, kind of open up a little bit, and talk about what I call my origin story. And so, you know, when I started writing it down, and I actually wrote it over at the blog, fitover40challenge.com. You can read it there. But I started writing it down, and I started just thinking about it. And some of it I've told before in some other videos, and, you know, some people have heard it before, some people haven't. So hopefully it'll be something that will resonate with you, something that might, you know, kind of light a spark, light a fire, and motivate you to become fit and to make a change and to be happy. Those are kind of the things that are the whys behind this. But so let's go ahead and kind of just get started. And I wanted to talk about back how it all started for me. And when I thought about it, it really started back when I was a kid. I grew up middle-class family. I'm one of four kids. There was three boys and one girl, and I was the youngest. I was 6 years apart from my brother, and 10 from my sister, and 12 from my brother, if I have my math correct. But my mom might make that correction if she's the only one watching this video. But anyway, it started back when I was a kid. Fitness kind of didn't start off with me, or what had happened was I had wanted to play football, and I wasn't able to. And the reason why I wasn't able to was prior to starting any sports, I had noticed that there was a lump on my foot, and the lump kept getting bigger, and it would hurt when I bumped into it and stuff like that, but I didn't really make anything of it. Finally, one day, I decided that I just needed to tell my parents, and I told my mom about it. So, of course, we went to the doctor, my pediatrician. He took x-rays and said, we need to send you to a specialist. And so, of course, I didn't really know anything at the time. My mom just said, oh, we're going to go to another doctor. We're going to go to an orthopedic doctor. I didn't know what an orthopedic doctor was. But we went to the doctor. He took x-rays. And he came back in and he said that I think you have a tumor, a giant cell tumor. And of course, being a 6-year-old at the time, I thought a tumor meant cancer. And so I was freaked out. I was crying. I thought that I had basically been diagnosed with cancer. However, if I recall correctly, he goes, I don't think it's cancer. He goes, we won't know that until we do a biopsy, but I don't think it's cancer. But we do have to remove it, and we're going to have surgery, and he's going to be in a cast for several months, and, you know, we'll see how it goes from there. And so I'm like just freaking out, like, what the heck is going on here? Long story short, I did have a tumor on my foot. It was benign, and they removed it. They removed part of the bone from my fibula, the side of my leg, to put it in the bone in my feet, my toes. And I wasn't able to walk on it for several months. I was in a cast, and that kind of led me to obviously gain weight as a 6-year, not being active, didn't sleep very well, so I was very sedentary, and I started to put on weight. I was eating, not eating healthy, and so I became a chunky little six-year-old. And so finally, though, after about a year, I don't recall how long it was, I was cleared, and I was able to start playing sports. And that really is what changed my life, because I started playing football, I started playing baseball, And that really kind of molded who I was. It helped me get back into shape, if you want to say it, at a kid's age. No longer were kids making fun of me, picking on me. Yeah, I guess I was somewhat bullied at some point back then, but I did end up fighting my back and coming back. So that's kind of where it started. But also back in my childhood, my father, and those of you who have either read my book or read some of the blog, know that he died at the age of 67, and he died from a heart attack, massive heart attack. But he also suffered, from type 2 diabetes and other different, lifestyle diseases, what I call them. And as a kid, unfortunately, I'd always ask my dad, if he could throw the football or throw the baseball. And, he would, but he wasn't really able to. He suffered from low back issues. He suffered from obesity. Back in time of my childhood, my dad growing up, smoking was still kind of the in thing, maybe. Saturated fat foods. Nobody talked about low fat foods at the time. So, everything, he ate wasn't healthy. And I'm not, saying that he couldn't have made better choices. But he also lived in a time period that, we didn't have as much education. We didn't have as much information as we do now. Although I think, at that time, cigarettes had started to become one of those things where people were talking about, hey, you shouldn't be smoking. And I always pressed him on that, and he'd get mad. But finally, one day he did decide to quit, and he quit cold turkey, which was amazing. So that was great. But growing up as a kid, I didn't have that ability to have my dad being active with me. So that always was something that bothered me. And then as I continued to go through school and stuff like that, fitness was really kind of what I wanted to do. Of course, I had the dream of playing pro football or college football. Unfortunately, I realized that I couldn't do that, so I decided I was going to do the next best thing. And I started to, study and want to work with athletes. But I came to the conclusion after I had done my internship at the Cooper Aerobic Center that, working with athletes probably wasn't really where I was going to go. I probably was going to start working with, individuals. Several of my friends that I'd met were doing some personal training, so they kind of got me into that. And it's where I kind of started to understand the difference or the impact that I could make by helping others. And so I started to do some personal training. And it wasn't probably until a couple years in that I finally had my aha moment, or where I really understood the impact that I could make. And I was working with a client, young professional, just out of law school, very smart guy. However, he was become sedentary, gained a lot of weight, obviously didn't have much time for himself, but he realized he needed to make a change. And it was probably after, maybe 8 months, 12 months, he had lost a ton of weight, lost a bunch of body fat. And he came up to me and told me, he's like, I just want to thank you. And I said, thank me for what? And he said, for changing my life and ultimately getting me back to where I felt confident again to finally, start dating and asking girls out and stuff like that. And I was just blown away. I was in my 20s. I had no clue, the impact that I was having. I just thought, I was kind of making a living and stuff like that. So it started kind of there. And at the same time, I had gotten married. Eventually we had kids. And at that time, I should back up a second. Right when I had my first child, that's when my dad died, and he had a massive heart attack. And that was what basically got me to the point where I felt guilty that my father had died from a heart attack and that I couldn't do anything about it. It took me some time to realize that you can't change anybody. They have to change themselves. So once I realized that and I got over the fact of feeling guilty for him, I continued to start to figure out what is my purpose and why do I want to have an impact on others. And so as I started to when we had my second child, I started getting in my mid 30s and things started to change a little bit for me personally in terms of my metabolism and also just kind of what I was going through. I was just kind of going through the habits, kind of like a checklist. I would say, okay, yeah, I'm working out, but I wasn't really working out. I mean, I was doing cardio, I was teaching some spin classes, but I wasn't really focusing on being fit. So I kind of got to the point where I was like, I got to make a change. And it was right before, I guess, my 40th birthday. And I had been introduced to, I guess I say I'd been introduced to HIIT training, but I had already done that before, but it was kind of all put together. And it was like, wow. And then I started to just transform. I mean, I started, just seeing a total difference in my energy, in my weight loss, and just kind of just overall, physique. And so then I realized that is, what I need to start doing. And so I started coaching a lot of different type of HIIT type workouts and stuff like that, and really starting to understand, that this was, again, where I needed to be. I needed to be helping people. And I figured out that my life's purpose was, it didn't matter how old you were and how out of shape you were. If you want to transform your life, you can transform your life at any time. And so that's where I decided that once I hit 40, that my goal was to help as many people, I say the age of 40 and up in the club, get back in shape, get fit, transform their lives, because age is really just a number. I mean, just a month ago, I turned 45. I say I'm halfway to 90, but I know so many people that are living lives that are just quality lives because of fitness. And again, it's taken me 20 some odd years to really truly understand what my purpose is in life, and understanding that and knowing this year is one of the years that I want to have one of the greatest impacts that I can have on people. I want to help, I say, thousands of people, because there's so many people out there that they can change their lives just by deciding to do it. And so, you kind of put all that together, and you look at just everything that I experienced as a kid, growing up, just some of the clients that I've worked with, and understanding my gifts and knowing that my gifts are all about helping others. That's what I plan on doing for the rest of my life. So, like I said, I wanted to shoot this kind of video just to kind of give you a little bit background on who I am and why I started Fit Over 40 Challenge, and what I continue to want to do for others. Because I just know that if there's one person that I can reach out to and change their life, it can make a huge difference. Especially, I didn't really kind of talk about how much it hurt that my father passed away at such an early age. And again, we can talk about destiny, we talk about all different stuff. You never know when it's your turn, I get that. But just if he had lived a different lifestyle, could he be here today seeing my girls doing cheer and dance and stuff like that? So for me, if I can make a difference in someone's life, that they change their lifestyle, they change their habits, and they start doing things that's going to make them become better, it can change an entire family. It can change an entire community. I'll just give you an example of a client who I just recently worked with, had gotten to the point where she felt she was tired. She kind of just lost it, and she wanted to get it back. And we worked mainly on mindset, believe it or not. Everything else was easy. I mean, once we got her to change her mindset, to get her why down. And the crazy thing is now she told me, that she has completely changed her view on life, in the sense that not only is she feeling fit and feeling confident again, she decided that she was going to start up her business, her photography business again. So I was just like, I was kind of blown away. And so it was another one of those aha moments that my gifts can help impact others. So that's what I'm here to do. And that's what I know my purpose is. I know that's what God has intended me to do. And that's what I want to continue to do going forward, is helping others. So all I'm asking you is that, if you start watching any of the videos that I put out there and it resonates with you, and you think that somebody else needs to hear this message, hear this story, just share it with them. put me in contact with them. Let me see if I can't help them. I just want to make sure that I'm making a big impact. And the only way that I know how that I can continue to make a big impact is to use my gifts and use my talents. I mean, technology is amazing now. So there's no reason why I should not be playing big and getting out there. So again, this video is just to kind of reintroduce myself to those who haven't seen me in a while, or also to introduce myself to those that have never seen me. So again, if you were interested in just even having a conversation, I'd love to just get on the phone with you. You can go to my website, fitover40challenge.com/fitness coach. I'll jump on a call with you, see if I can't help you out. And if not, hey, no worries to me. I mean, again, it's what I want to do. It's my value back to you. So again, if you have a comment, please share it. If you want to share the video, I'd love for you to share it, get my message out there to help others, like it, whatever. But again, plan on seeing more videos from me, probably on this page. I'll probably try to upload them to my website as well. But I'm gonna have a lot more content, a lot more different things to help you transform your life. So I appreciate you taking the time. And from there, again, you can get in contact with me at fitover40challenge.com. And we will see you again. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do these weekly. So see you next week. All right? Signing off, Coach Dave.